Well, good morning, everyone. As you can see, we have a lovely day here in Denver, Aurora area. And I'm going to finish winterizing Minnie here, or as we like to call her, shaken, not stirred, because this baby has been shaken. So I forgot my camera yesterday, so I'm gonna take a few things that I did prior to today. I'm going to put in the antifreeze today. So obviously we dumped when we came in Friday, so all the dump tank is empty. I ran as much fresh water out of my tank as I could, so there didn't seem to be anything left when I was pumping it. Now, one thing that causes me a little bit of concern here is you'll notice I'm in a downhill angle, so when I put my antifreeze in, I've got 3 gallons I'm going to put in. Hopefully that is going to be enough to get pumped into the system. So I'm going to pause here every now and then and show you a few things that I did getting ready for today. Okay, so like I said yesterday, or Friday, excuse me, I drained as much water out as I could when we were dumping, and then yesterday, or maybe the day before, here's your low point drain. It's 2109S2, by the way, and they're identifiable anywhere. I took the caps off. I'm going to put those back on so all my antifreeze doesn't just run into the ground. Don't need that. Been there, done that. So on the driver's side here, there's 2 panels you need to take off. One is going to be to your hot water tank, and as you can see, I've got these screws backed out. There's 1, 2 of them. You're going to need your Robertson screwdriver with that head. Okay, so what I did was just disengage those screws so I can get to my shutoff valves, and hopefully you can see this okay. Here's your hot water line, and running back, you'll see I have that switch off. It is shutting any water off from going back into the back of the hot water tank. There is a middle switch right behind here that is now pointing up and down vertically to let water go through those lines. Here's my cold water line. It's shut off. So simply next year when I want to unwinterize, all I do is reverse these. Turn the cold water valve in line, the bypass valve, be sure you turn that off. Otherwise you'll never get hot water. You'll just get lukewarm water. And I'll turn the hot water valve on, facing that direction. Now I have flow of water through the hot and cold into the back of the tank. Okay, so that is as simple as that gets. It's just don't forget to turn those switches in the spring when you're ready to unwinterize, I guess. What? Dewinterize. Now I'll go ahead and take these 2 screws off. This is going to allow me to get to the water pump. Okay? Be right back. Okay, took the 2 screws out. Now this panel is only about 3 feet long, maybe 3.5, but it slides this way, so if you have something over on that side back there, you have to take it out so you can slide this. Alright, so let me just slide this. There we go. Here it is. You should have one of these for your water filter holder, container, outlet, whatever you want to call it. So I took that off yesterday. It's full of water. Even though I drained this thing as much as I could, there's still water in there. It's kind of like a low point. So I took that and I dumped it out. It has collected no more water in there. Tightened it back up. Don't go overboard tightening that. That's plastic. Just get it snug. You can check later when you de-winterize, just to make sure there's no leaks, but don't go crazy on that. It's going to break. So I'm going to slide the panel back in. I could just leave it open because this is a pain in the butt. Pardon the French. Okay, so all the water I can think of has been drained in this system. So let's check one more thing here that I did. And that is, even after you've run the hot water, you've run all your taps inside, there is still 6 gallons of water in this water heater. It does not push out. It won't pump out of here. So you need to drain your hot water tank. Do not forget it. And I've had to show you one of my videos on flushing. So you're going to take 1 1/16 inch, hope that shows up, socket. And I think this is a 3/8 inch drive. I have an extension on it because you're not going to get in here to get to that water plug. And you're going to open that water plug and you're going to let the water start draining. And then here's a pressure relief valve. Turn this valve up. You might have heard a little air there. That'll let it really wash out very quickly. That's a good thing because it's washing out sediment as well. Don't forget to close it back up. Then I'm going to just go ahead and keep an old anode rod that is worn out. I'm going to put it back, put a little Teflon tape around the threads and put it back in. And I can use that old anode rod as a stopper, if you will. There's, I tried using the nylon nut. That was a joke. Don't do it. You're going to strip the threads and you're going to be very unhappy. Okay? So that is drained. Onward to the next step, which is I'm going to go ahead and put in my antifreeze. I'm not going to use a siphon or anything like that. I got a water bucket. I'm just going to put my antifreeze in there, and I'm going to put the water right in to my tank. Okay, so let's do that step next. Oh, one other quick thing. I did disconnect. I always disconnect the house battery when I leave here. Now, that way, if there's any parasitic drain in there, it won't affect my batteries, because I leave my batteries in here all winter. And not sure if you can see it, solar, if there was any at all, my batteries that are 100%. So the batteries, even though I disconnect the house battery down there, my solar panel, the controller, is connected to the batteries, and it is constantly charging them. Doesn't need to have the house battery shut-off switch on at all. It's direct wired to the batteries. Okay, let's see if we can get some pumping going. Okay, got the water pump turned on, and it's building up some pressure. They have completely empty lines everywhere, so that's going to take a few seconds. We're ready. How do you like the hat? It's my cold weather hat. Actually, it's misting out some. Come on, baby. Pump up. Look at there. It's still taking some of the fresh water from the lines and it's going into the reservoir on that. So I'm going to shut this off and come out here and drain that. Alrighty. I repeated the same process before. It's still pumping water from the lines somewhere, maybe from some of the hoses, but it's starting to get pink now. So I'm going to let this go through one more time, but that's water that's going to freeze, so you want it out of your system. I did go over and open up both the low point drains just for a bit, and a little water came out, not much. But this is getting pink, so it's starting to mix some antifreeze in. I want to make sure this is not going to freeze. Okay, I emptied about 4 or 5 5 of those canisters. We get a little leak crank there on the side. I'm going to have to tighten that up just a little bit. But a lot of water came out of those pipes. So let's get that tightened up and get going here. Alrighty, now that we're pressured up, got our water pump on, we're just going to go ahead and start opening some valves. Hot and cold water going. And we're just going to watch for these to turn pink. We start getting some antifreeze through. So I'm going to do it on that line. Now I'm going to do it on there. And the faucet there. We're going to do it on the shower head. Then we're also going to flush the toilet and get that going too. So that will be the procedure until we see pink coming through these lines. Ready? Alrighty, well, my worst fears were realized. The level here is so bad. Most of the antifreeze is down here, very little up here. So I had to hitch up and use the little yellow balls, by the way. No one to blame but me. So I'm going to go ahead and pull forward, pull around the corner here, see if I can get this working better. The water pump is struggling too for some reason. Not getting much pressure, so I don't see any leaks anywhere. So if anything, it might be an air leak. I'm not sure, or it could be because the trailer is on such an off level that it's shutting off. Okay, here we are at Walmart, just like last year. I got some more antifreeze. It didn't look like it was gonna work right, so I just went ahead and bought some more antifreeze to put in. A couple of things to point out on this particular model, and you might want to look under yours. Different ones have different setups, but the sink on this side has no P-trap. It runs directly over horizontally to this trap, or to this pipe going down. There's no P-trap underneath here either. I got under there and looked. They both come over and they go right down into, probably in the gray water tank, through a valve or something. But there's no P-traps in there. Now I did check the bathroom sink, and I hope you can see this okay. There is a P-trap on that one. And I've been running some water through here, and I've been running some antifreeze through the shower head, both the hot and cold water lines. You might notice that little clamp, that little ring was there, broke. I'm actually glad, because I hated that thing. So, because you always had this swag here to deal with, trying to get the hose to you. So I'll finish up here and then flushing more so I can see pink coming out on the toilet. I'm not going to mess with the outside shower. I haven't used it ever. I think 2 years ago when we first got it, I tried it. So I'm fairly certain that's fine. But I've got a very, very slow and weak water pump. So something's going on there. I'm going to have to figure out what it is. But that's how we winterize. I'm going to go ahead and put some full strength down this one since there's a P-trap. I'll put a little more down here. And I'll put some in here, though that's really not that necessary, but I will do that. And just for good measure, I'll put a little bit down in the sinks too. It'll go on down into the gray water tank. So 2109S, it's pretty easy to do, but it always takes me forever to do anything. Holy crap. Thanks for watching, guys. If I get anything new coming up, I'll let you know.